Hello YouTube, this is Bash, bringing you here for the round of 16 NPL tournament. For the NPL tournament, we made it into brackets over Keegan, as Ultra Player and I were the ones from our group or our pool, our battle pool, to make it into brackets. It was top 16 at the moment, and we were up. We were put up against Vepsis and Helsinki Hydreigons. Sorry if I mispronounced that. He's a pretty good guy. You should definitely check out his channel. I'll put his link in the description. His team consists of Tapu Koko, Gliscor, Ferrothorn, Kyurem, Tentacool, Incineroar, Licky Licky, Uxie, Heracross, Alolan Raichu, and Mega Pidgeot. While my team consisted of Victini, Suicune, Como, Sylveon, Nidoking, Raikou, Mega Aerodactyl, Registeel, Sneasel, and Lurantis. He's got some, well, and I forgot to mention that his Z users are, in fact, Tapu Koko and Incineroar, while my Z users, of course, are Como-O, Lurantis, and Sneasel. So, coming into this match, I kind of expected a little Raichu to come. It really put in a lot of work, but he didn't bring it. He brought the Tapu Koko, Heracross, Gliscor, Uxie, Incineroar, and Tentacool. And looking at this matchup, Raikou literally just wins if Gliscor is gone. Like, Raikou literally just wins this game if Gliscor is gone, unless he has Taunt on like Tapu Koko or on Tapu Koko. So I'll go over the sets real quickly. I have a Raikou set that's Sub Protect, Calm Mind, Thunderbolt. Mega Aerodactyl with Roost, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Ice Fang. I have Choice Scarf Victini with U-Turn, Blue Flare, Side Shock, Focus Blast. Suicune with Mimic, Roar, Extra Sentry, Scald, Mimic for trying to get the Roost off of Kyurem or Gliscor, or maybe even Koko if I'm feeling risky. There's Lurantis with Defog, Superpower, Leech Life, Leaf Blade, especially defensive with Leftovers. Nidoking, and finally Nidoking with Black Sludge, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and Toxic. If you want to check out a more detailed of the team, go check out the team board. I'll put it in the description as well. So, heading into this matchup, his team is kind of like, I guess, kind of scary. Suicune's my really only good switch into Incineroar at the moment, so if he brings offensive Incineroar, it could be really scary, as I know in the past he's run Z-Snatch Incineroar, because that's one of his Z users, which is absolutely terrifying. Tapu Koko can be terrifying, but I think Nidoking checks it pretty well. Defensive, like, it could switch in pretty well against it. So that's good at least. Victini looks really good this match, other than Incineroar. Blue Flare does like 70% to Gliscor. It almost OHKOs Tapu Koko depending on the set. Heracross gets OHKO'd. Uxie can get worn down, but it can't do. It can take hits, but it can't do much back. And Tentacool gets one shot by like pretty much Side Shock. I'm pretty sure. Lurantis isn't actually that useful this match. Looking into the matchup, other than getting rid of hazards, as it really all it could do is, well, it was there really to help with the Alolan Raichu and like Ferrothorn and stuff like that. So, and Licky Licky as well, but none of them showed up, so like it wasn't really that big of a deal that Lurantis. So if it comes down to it and I need a sack, Lurantis is probably going to be that sack. Then Uxie, I know he's run a lot in the past. He's run a lot of screens, so I was a little worried about that. But I thought he would only be one screen, not both screens. So that's something to look at because that's what he's done in the past. Heracross is a good. Heracross could be really scary. I'm expecting a Flame Orb set. I don't think Scarf is coming. I'm expecting Flame Orb, which is why I have Victini. I have a couple things to revenge it offensively, so that's really nice. Yeah, so we're going to go into the matchup. I believe I'm going to lead off with Victini. I didn't want to lead off. I was considering leading off with Mega Aerodactyl or Nidoking, but if he leads off with Gliscor, if he leads off with Gliscor, I don't want Nidoking taking that much damage. Even though Ice Beam would do so much to it, I would not want to lead with that. And if he leads Tapu Koko, which is a pretty easy pretty obvious lead, I would say, I guess. I do not want Tapu Koko going on it because Earthquake with the set, I'm not fully offensive. I have 200 in attack, so I can't Oak. I believe I only have a chance to Oko offensive Tapu Koko, so I didn't want to risk it, especially if in case he's Shuka. So I want to lead off with Victini first turn, as he's going to lead off with Tapu Koko. So I was sitting here for a little bit debating whether to do. I was thinking about U-turning or Blue Flare. I believe I go for the U-turn on this turn just because I do not want the Incineroar to come in on the Blue Flare. It eats it up all day, especially if it's AV. And U-turn's so good for momentum, so I could get into Nidoking or Suicune or Mega Arrow and just pressure Incineroar a lot. There's also a possibility he goes into Tentacruel here. There's a good chance. And I wanted to see, and I think that all I think is Tapu Koko is really going to go for momentum here. I don't really, and Nidoking pretty much checks it really well, so I'm gonna go for the U-turn here, as he actually stays in, which is crazy because Victini did so much to this thing, which he makes a really ballsy play and stays in, which is a good play for him. And I'm gonna go up to Nidoking right off the bat, which is kind of annoying because he goes for Nature's Madness, making a great prediction. Maybe he was trying to maybe he thought it was Scarf already, or maybe he was trying to get Victini down a lot with Nature's Madness. But either way, it was a good play, and I believe I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam on this turn because I don't think Coco's gonna stay in here. And I believe Uxie's gonna come in, or Gliscor. One of the two is gonna come in. I don't think Heracross is gonna come in. I don't think Incineroar is going to come in, and I don't think Tentacruel is going to come in. I think Uxie or Gliscor is going to come in because the obvious Earth power is coming out, and I want to be able to touch Uxie. Oh wait, I don't go for Ice Beam here. I have Toxic. My bad. I want to go for a Toxic here because I expect the Uxie to come out, and if Gliscor comes out, that's not the worst thing in the world because I have Suicune I could go right into, or I could go into Mega Arrow, which could deal with Gliscor pretty well as well. So it's kind of a win-win for that situation. Ooh, do not want that showing up. Okay, so I'm going to go for the Toxic on this turn, and he reveals that he doesn't have U-turn, so that's really nice to know. As I'm going to go for Toxic. He makes the play into Tentacruel, which absolutely stunned me in the match. Later on, I just did actually discover he actually is Shuka Berry, so that's why he went into this. So it wasn't like a big deal for him to go into this, I guess. So knowing that he's going to go into this, I'm going to go into Suicune, I believe, on this turn. He's going to go for a Scald. He's going to go for a Scald. It's pretty apparent. Or you could go for T-Spikes here. So going to Suicune is a pretty relaxed play, I guess. Or I could go into Lurantis, but I think Suicune was better. I could roar things out, I could get extra Sentry on stuff, I could pressure Scald, I could Scald things, so that's really nice. And the only thing I really want to switch in on it is Uxie, I guess, and I guess really a defensive Tapu Koko. So I'm gonna go pull the switch into Suicune. He's just gonna go over a Scald. I don't know what this damage was. I believe 10%. Wait, was that a crit? Hold up, I forgot in the match during this if this was a crit or not, because I think it might have mattered when I was looking at it. He goes for the Skull, does 10%. Yeah, it was resisted. Okay, so I was a little surprised about that output. I thought he was actually I wasn't sure if he was going to be modest or timid or something like that, because that did a little more than I thought it was going to. So I was thinking that it was timid, maybe with like a splash play or something like that, because especially since it didn't reveal item or at all or anything like that. So I'm gonna go for the extra Sentry here, and I'm gonna get a crit, which is not gonna really matter in the end, as you'll see in a minute. But I'm gonna go out to Lurantis because I expect the Nature's Madness to come out again, and he goes for Roost, so he's showing that he's more of a defensive Tapu Koko based off of the set with the Roost and Nature's Power. Nature's Madness I meant, so that's really interesting to think about. So maybe he could be, because based off of the way he keeps, he just roosted right there, I feel like he might be trying to save himself for ability to take on an Earthquake from Mega Aerodactyl, especially if he's like a Shuka Berry. or Nidoking Earth Power or something like that. So that's really something to think about. He makes the hard switch into Incineroar. I'm going to make the play out to Nidoking because I expect, in case he goes for Volt Switch, I still wasn't sure if he had Volt Switch or not. So I wanted to make the play out into Nidoking here. Very interesting he brought in Incineroar on the Lurantis because it would give me an attack boost, and if I went for Super Power there, oh my god, that would have been really difficult for him to deal with. So I'm going to go to Nidoking, get the Black Sludge recovery, and he's going to go for Uxie. I'm going to go for the Earth Power because he made the play into the Tentacle earlier. I wasn't sure if he was going to do it again, but he makes a great play, great read, and goes out to Uxie. And now I'm in a spot where I'm going to have to switch out, I believe, into Lurantis here because I'm expecting rocks to come up here. So I'm going to go out to Lurantis here. He goes for Stealth Rocks, and he's just going to U-turn out as he goes into Tentacruel. I'm going to just defog them away. I'm able to deal with it pretty well. And at this point, I'm just going to stay in here. Sludge Bomb didn't do that much to me, and I'm going to go fire off a Leaf Blade. I want this thing a little chipped, I guess, and I didn't really want to switch in on Mega Aerodactyl hard or like anything hard on this because I was expecting maybe a Toxic and over prediction on it for like a Suicune switch in. I'm expecting a Toxic, so I'm going to go for a Leaf Blade. Does a decent chunk here. Kind of wish I had Synthesis because maybe I could have scouted out there. If I had Synthesis, I could have scouted that out because as you probably just saw, Sludge Wave did not do over half at that moment, so that's very interesting to note, which was kind of confusing me with the calcs with the Scald earlier with Suicune, but that's besides the point, as he was not fully specially attacked invested, so I'm just going to stay in here. I could have went into Mega Aerodactyl to try to save this for maybe defogging away screens later, but I decided to go into I decided to just sack off Lurantis. As I said, Lurantis is a sack in this match, kind of, and just really here just to get rid of those hazards or a pivot. So I'm going to go up to Mega Aerodactyl now, get that Mega Evolution off, and in case he decides to save this, I want to get damage off on Uxie. So I'm going to make the play and go for a Stone Edge, which actually was the right play because he actually was Shuka. So I'm going to go for the Stone Edge. Hope I land it, and we do, of course, which is really, we do, so that's really nice. And the way he brought in Tapu Koko made me think he had the Shuka Berry on this thing right off the bat, or he was chancing the Earthquake. So I'm going to make the play out to Nidoking here, because if he goes for Nature's Madness, that's not the worst thing. As I saw, he doesn't really showed anything that can hit me yet, as he's just shown Roost, Nature's Madness, and he probably has an electric type move to hit Mega Aerodactyl and Suicune. So I don't know what the fourth move was at the moment. So I'm going to go out to Nidoking here, play it safe, and I get more Black Sludge recovery, which is amazing, as at this point I can make a play here. I think he's going to Uxie now. I honestly do think he's going to Uxie. Uxie is a pretty comfortable switch into this, and it's his best switch in because then he doesn't have to over predict on moves, and I don't think he has seen the Toxic, but like he saw me over predicting a couple times earlier now. So I'm just gonna go for a Toxic now because I think Uxie's coming in here, which is a very safe switch in here. As now I get reliable chip damage on this. I kind of wish I had Lurantis around, as you'll see I believe this is it in a couple turns. But I'm going to go out to Suicune, I believe, here. Yeah, I go out to Suicune. I'm going to show you in a minute. You're going to see why I kind of wanted to keep Lurantis. I should have kept Lurantis around and maybe brought like a Synthesis set. But he's going to go for the Light Screen, and this is going to be really annoying because what it's going to turn out to be that he actually is Light Clay, and that's really annoying. But looking at his mons, I don't really see any setup opportunities. Maybe a Choice Scarf Heracross. But that's about it. So I didn't really see anything else that really wanted to set up. I guess maybe Incineroar is a setup set with like Z Snatch, as I said before, or Gliscor maybe with the SD set. But it can't really. I don't think it really could touch. It's gonna have to be able to have 2 turns of setup in order to beat my team, and even then it can't beat Suicune at all. It could weaken it, but it's not going to be able to beat it. So at this point, I expect him to go out into I think he might go into Heracross here to try to wall break. or Tapu Koko to try to just be annoying with that. So I'm going to go for a Roar here. He goes for the U-turn, and he waited for a while, but he went to Gliscor here, which, by the way, completely confounded me, because I thought Scald was so obvious, and I forgot the burn on this thing. This thing is basically useless, and I can in fact actually 1v1, I could possibly 1v1 Raikou, or Gliscor with Raikou. So, very, very surprised about that. So, I'm going to roar him out into Heracross. I guess he made the right play, though. Maybe he was expecting the roar or something like that, so, or maybe he was, I don't know. So, but either way, he gets onto Heracross. He shows that it's Flame Orb, so he's not Moxie. He's not Moxie Scarf, which is really nice to know. As he's just going to try to wall break here, I guess. So I'm going to go for another Roar because Extra Sentry doesn't do anything to Heracross, as he goes into Tapu Koko here, which is Roar was the right play on that turn, and he gets to go into Incineroar. I'm gonna go for a Scald, because I at this point I think he's gonna try to hit me instead of like just stay in and click a move, instead of actually like trying to switch around and stuff like that, because the fact I've been just clicking Roar and trying to waste out these light screen turns. But he goes for Toxic, which is a great play. Which is a pretty good play, as that's gonna be really annoying for my Suicune to deal with, as I'm just gonna get a Scald off. That's barely anything, but he goes into Tapu Koko here. I'm gonna go for another Scald. Hopefully, maybe get a burn, maybe, which could have been nice, but I don't. So that's fine though, because it's only 30% chance to burn anyway. He's gonna go into Tapu Koko, and I'm gonna make a play, and I believe on this turn I'm gonna stay in. And he's gonna go for Nature's Madness as he overpredicts here, and I'm gonna go for the Scald. At this point, I could have went for the Mimic, which at this point in the match, I was really considering Mimic, because if he went for the Roost and I got the Mimic, this game just became so much more different, because I'm able to deal with a lot of his mons. Even though I'm Toxic, I'm able to deal with the Heracross a lot better than the Incineroar, and the Uxie as well, and the Gliscor as well. The only thing I can't really beat would be the Tapu Koko, but which I probably should have made the play. But I'm gonna play a little safe. I could use Suicune as a sack leader for Heracross for the Flame Orb set. So I decided to go out into Nidoking here, protecting a Thunderbolt. As he goes for the Roost, which means I should have went for the Mimic, but that's fine. I'm not gonna really have a chance later to use it, but it's fine anyway. As I'm gonna be able to click Ice Beam here. I still don't think he's staying with Tapu Koko, and I was really hoping Gliscor would come out, but he goes into Incineroar, doesn't do anything, but Light Screen is gone. As you saw, the light screens are finally gone, and now I can click Earth Power and it takes it out, Incineroar out, which is absolutely amazing. He gets a free switch into Uxie at this point, which is kind of annoying. I could have went Suicune or like Nidoking. Oh, I could have went like Mega Aerodactyl and tried to do something with that, but I probably should have at this point. But it's fine. I'm just gonna go for Ice Beam here. He goes for Light Screen. I could have made the play here. I was expecting some like U-turn or something like that here, which he actually is not going to show, as he's been just showing Light Screen this entire time, but now he's going to show the Reflect, which is actually scary. As I go for a Flamethrower, expecting Heracross to come in here, but he goes for the Reflect, and now it just got so scary, because now if he has a way to set up, he might just win at this moment. I could go out to Mega Aerodactyl here, which would have been I think a really good play here at this moment, but if I went out to Mega Aerodactyl, I could have actually just won the game there. At that point, because Tapu Koko would be forced to come in, and I could have, as you'll see, which set he's actually gonna be. So I'm gonna go for the Flamethrower, take out Uxie. He goes into Gliscor. I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam. I want to get damage off on this, and he goes for the Jody here. So at this point, I should have just with the Jody set. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the rules. you're actually allowed to speed pass. You're allowed to speed pass. So at the moment, I was not thinking about that. I completely forgot that was allowed. To be honest, during the match, so I was really just thinking he was going to be like an SD agility set or something like that, or like with Roost. So maybe he can recover stall my my Needle King, because with Roost it takes away the 4 times weakness to Ice Beam. And with Toxic Orb, that's probably really nice for him to maybe be able to beat Needle King 1v1, especially with light screens up. So I was thinking about that, and he actually he shows the Toxic Orb, but then he shows the Baton Pass, which just completely throws me for a loop. As at this point, I had a feeling this game. I was checking the calcs. Nothing on my team. Well, depending on the set he has, is whether my team will live. And you will see in a second that the set he actually has left is able to deal with all my mons perfectly well, perfect, as we're gonna lose here. He's gonna go for the. I'm gonna sack off Suicune, try to waste some turns here. He goes for Earthquake, and that is pretty much at that moment. I kind of figured it was GG. Close Combat is able to beat Mega Arrow. Earthquake takes out Victini and has a chance to take out Needle King, actually. Slight chance, and has a chance to take out Raikou, I believe. But it's pretty much a really good chance, especially with rocks up. So like at this point, I'm pretty sure it's over. I'm just gonna go out to Saber. I'm gonna go for a Protect. Try to get some stall out some screens, and see if I can get some defense, like this defense drops or something like that. As well as possibly get myself in a position where I can actually live. But if he's Jolly, I believe he is Jolly. No, he's Adamant, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. If he was Jolly, I could have actually had a chance to live if I was at full, which is why I went for the double protect, which I think was the correct play. But he goes for Earthquake, takes me out, and this game is pretty much over, as he's gonna go for a close combat, take me out. I still had a chance here if for some reason he choked, I guess, with Heracross. Because Needle King beats Tapu Koko, can beat Tapu Koko in Gliscor. I just needed Heracross gone, but there's no way that's gonna happen, as he's just gonna go for the Earthquake, take me out, and because he's Adamant, he's gonna take out my Needle King as well, and we are gonna get knocked out of MPL, the MPL Tryout tournament. GG to Vepsis. That was a very good bring. Did not expect that at all. There was some plays I could have made played differently. I believe, as I was mentioning earlier, if I made that play into Mega Aerodactyl on the sack of Uxie, I could have prevented him from going into there, because Ice Fang was able to beat Gliscor at that point, and I could have made a. I don't know. He would have been able to switch. I don't think he would have been able to switch Heracross in pretty safely. I think he would have had to gone to Tapu Koko, and I could have wasted more turns. Light Screen and Reflect, which if I was able to do that, I could have maybe won that game. But because not, we're gonna fall. I could have also. I think the Raikou set was a good bring, but I think I should have brought a more offensive Raikou set. I thought I would have done probably better with like Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and maybe some other coverage move, maybe like HP Ice, I guess. What could have done a really nice against this team too. But I wasn't sure what kind of sets he would bring, and I felt like Raikou literally just won if Heracross, if Gliscor was gone. So I do regret about that. But he made some really good plays that to put himself in position to be able to pull out the W. Even when I thought I possibly had it. So, GG to Vepsis. Good luck in the rest of the tournament. I know some of my friends are still left in it, so good luck to all you guys too that are still left in it. Hopefully, I make it into MPLs. If I don't, it'll be fine. I think my quality of my videos has really gone up after Greg. Shout out to Regulator. He helped me out. He kind of helped me out with, I guess, like the video production in a way through the Discord channel, which was really nice of him. And I think my videos have really grown in quality, especially with the NPL. If you looked at the videos I had before this tournament, it wasn't as good quality as this. So I'm really happy with the amount of quality that has gone up. And if I do make it to NPL, I'll be absolutely ecstatic. I would love to be into the make it to NPL, but only time will tell. If not, I'll try out again for NPL. I'll be back to try out for NPL next time they have an opening. So thank you for watching this video. Go check out Vepsis' channel. His uploads will probably be coming up soon as well. And we still have a couple of leagues that we're doing. We still have Crash and UPC at the moment, so that's really good. And there might be another league coming up. Hopefully, we'll see when it comes to it. But until next time, Bash out.